Good morning. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or wherever you are. I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you come in and you can't hear me, let me know so I can adjust the volume. I am still working on learning the technology piece of this. So if you can't hear me, let me know. I do this time have my chats on, which is great because last time I did my chat, I was not able to see the chats on the screen. So if you are in here and you want to say hi, please do so. You want to interact with me, please do so. That is exactly the reason why I love doing these chats, is so that I can kind of have real time interaction with my subscribers and people that just happen to come across the video. So hi, Gloria, how are you? You can hear me, great, great, great. Hi, Nina, hello. Okay, great. I always get a little, oh goodness. So I hope you guys are doing well. How is the weather where you guys are? It's really nice today. I'm in Florida, and we're finally getting the nice fall air. So it's been nice. This weekend was 65 degrees. I think 74 was the high. So it was perfect, perfect, perfect. Good morning. Hi, 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 hi. You're from Virginia. Nice. First time here. Good morning. Hi. Philly, and it's a little chilly. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Kai. How are you? Great, great, great. So, guys, you remember last time, let me just start with my little disclaimer, because not everybody that finds the lives I'm noticing aren't necessarily part of my subscriber base. So, my name is Felicia. My channel name is Ahsel over here on YouTube. I typically do crochet videos, I do plant videos, I do a lot of yarn reviews, and I just recently introduced the live environment where I'm actually talking to people. So that is super cool. Horrible pouring down 2 days in Texas. Oh yeah, I hate when you know what I think? I think it should rain in the evening. Wouldn't that be nice if it rained every evening around 9:30 to 1-ish, and then it came back? I mean, because I love plants, and so they need water too. So Northeastern NYS. Okay. Wait. That's interesting. We have a jokester in here this morning. And the thing about jokesters is I do not know how to remove them. So if you have something weird to say, everyone's gonna see it, I guess. Okay, so again, I'm Felicia, and so if you're interested in anything related to crocheting or even plant life, the plants on my channel, the plant videos, are really more like a bonus to what I really enjoy doing too. So I do throw some of those in there occasionally. But if you are interested in any of those things, please check out my channel, subscribe to my channel. I have well over 100 videos on there, and they're all different, you know what I mean? And I really approach crocheting from the beginner perspective. So if you're new to crocheting, or you've gone away from it for a while, you need refresher courses, that's kind of what my channel gears towards. But then there are so many other creative YouTubers and creative, teachers out here that can go take you to the next level. So a lot of my patterns are going to be the beginner stages, like taking you from your first blanket, your first scarf, to maybe your first garment or your first baby item, things like that. So I feel like there is an area for that, because everyone loves crocheting, but sometimes it gets, you like to see the work, but sometimes it gets hard to get started. So that's kind of what I like to do on my channel. New York State. Okay. Good morning from Texas. Yay, I'm glad you got a notice. I never know how these things work with the noticing and all that. And I think I have to do something on my end, but I'm still new. This is my 5th live, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. So that was really the beginning, is getting comfortable with it. And now I'm trying to learn all the technical pieces of it, because I'm really a more behind the camera type of person. So, but I'm so happy to see everyone in here. Thank you. I made a beret. My girlfriend wanted one. My best friend, she wanted one. So I made one for me to see how to do it. And then I made one for her so she could have one. She loves Paris. Thank you. Sometimes it's kind of nerving when you first come into these live situations. You're like, okay, I'm going to be in here by myself, which is okay, because I do tutorials, so I talk to the camera anyway. but it's like, I want to engage. So it's neat to see people jump in. So let's go ahead and get started with what I kind of want to discuss today. Last live, we went over the unnecessary necessaries of crocheting. So like the 5 things to really get you started. So if you have an interest in crocheting, but you haven't gotten started yet, please check out that previous live. It's number 4. And I kind of go into the necessary, unnecessary things of crocheting. And then this one, I'm going to discuss what's in my crochet bag. So what do I carry around with me? Oh, okay. Thank you, Rush Comedy. I didn't know that. Okay, thank you. So really quickly, I got a question that said, is it possible to change stitches? I started with one and don't like it. Do you mean like midstream in the project, or do you mean like when do you want to change stitches? Because you can change stitches. You can actually do different stitches throughout your project, but it could change up your gauge. So when exactly do you want to change? Just let me know when exactly you want to change stitches. Okay, so I want to start off. I got my very first, I would say, happy mail. I think that's what people call it in this community. It's called happy mail when someone sends you a sample or they send you something just out of love. I was noticing a young lady's nails. I like looking at nails and stuff when I'm doing crochet tutorials, and she had this really pretty nail polish on, and I just happened to make a comment about it, and she was like, "Oh, if you want, I'll send you a sample of what I'm using." So her name is Monica. Oh, Monique. Monique. Sorry, her name is Monique. And she has a channel and it's called Oak Knob Makes. And she also does crochet tutorials and things of that nature. And she sent me a sample of this line called Color Street. Now I don't have it on my nails today, but I just got it out of the mail yesterday. So she sent me a cute little sample and I'm gonna try it and hopefully I'll love it. But basically it's like a dry nail polish that you can just kind of put the strips on. They're like adhesive, I imagine. And then you can kind of have the look of a manicure without actually going to a salon. And right now, guys, with everything still just beginning to reopen, this might come in perfect for me because I do like to have my nails done when I'm doing my channels. Yeah, you can switch. Is it Medora? You can switch stitches if you would like. I would switch it at the beginning of the row. And then what type of stitch are you currently working and what do you want to stitch change it to? Because like all that kind of plays into it, but you can change stitches throughout your project. So and if anybody has any suggestions, her question was she's working a project and she doesn't really like the stitch that she's using. Can she switch it to something else as she's working the project? So if anybody has any other information from Adora, please go ahead and put that in the comment section so she'll know too, like some of your insight on it. But yeah, you can switch. Just switch at the beginning of the row. And honestly, if you just done several rows and you switch at this point, that the several rows that you did, that can start your border in a sense. And so you can create your project. And then when you end your blanket or end your project, end it with that very beginning stitch that you started with, and you'll kind of have a built-in border. So that could work too. Okay. So it's not like you just completely abandon ship, but you can kind of blend it into your pattern, if that makes any sense. Okay. I was in the process of thanking Monique. So thank you so much. And I will let you know how much I love this because I'm sure I will. And you'll see them in one of my videos, I'm so sure, because I think these are super cool. I need to go do some research on how to put them on, but thank you so much for sending this to me. I appreciate it a lot. So I'm a frogger too. Frogging in crochet language is like when you rip out. If you rip out a stitch, so if you're working something and you have to rip it out, that's called frogging. Rip it, you get it? So I'm a frogger too. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any questions. So yeah, good morning to everyone. Okay, so another quick thing I wanted to talk about right before we jump into what's in my bag are I mentioned that I was looking to get some different crochet hooks because one of my subscribers or someone that caught my live asked about, you know, um, tension in your hand when you're crocheting. And then I got a comment from Oak Knob Makes, Monique, and she suggested furl hooks, which I had seen them. They're beautiful hooks. They're like a luxury type crochet hook. So I saw them in pictures and things, but I never thought to actually try them. So I went ahead and purchased a couple and they came in. And I'm going to tell you guys, I really like them. There is I hate to say learning curve, but they do feel a little different than your standard hook. They are not as short. They're actually longer. And then they have they start with a sleek design and then they kind of bow out some, which is nice for if you are, when you're crocheting, you don't hold the hook so tightly. So I would suggest that okay, have a great day too. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I was testing them out on the last project that I was working. I used the smaller hook. It's a little bit heavier, but it's a nice grip. You know what I mean? This is made out of, I think, resin, I believe. But they have a really pretty, look how pretty that is. This one here is their cafe. And then I think this is like I don't remember. I think it's Galaxy. I don't know. But I will say they're pretty pricey. They're pretty pricey. These were don't quote me. I want to say they were like $20, $22, $23, something like that. So they were on the pricey side. But if you're dealing with arthritis issues or cramping of the hands or anything like that, but you still want to try crocheting or you still are a crocheter, it may be worth the investment. You know what I mean? It's almost like if you do, if you're a seamstress and you have a pair of scissors that are completely dull, you know what I mean? And then you go to try to cut your fabric, they're not going to cut as well. So that makes the actual craft of sewing not as enjoyable because you're constantly having to go over. So if you invest in a tool that would really help you, then maybe, you know what I mean? So would I go invest in these as a brand new crocheter? Probably not. Unless going out the gate, I already knew that I had issues with cramping of my hands and things like that. But if I've been doing it or I know I have a long project, then I would look into them. You know what I mean? It's like I say, and I bought two. I did buy two because are you guys like this? When I am buying something online, if shipping is free, I always try to go up to get to the free shipping versus just buying the one item. Like I get it. I know that it's cheaper to just buy the one item, but when shipping is like $7 or $8, I'm just like, something inside my mind is like, I can't do it. I can't rationalize it. You know what I mean? So, oh, hey, Monique, yay. I did get them. I was just telling them she was asking me if I got my hooks. I did just get them. Good morning, Marva. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad you caught my live. I get a lot of people that catch it in the replay. I just do it. This is convenient for me, this time frame right now. But yeah, so these are worth trying. Like I say, I was put onto them and I love, this is really just so pretty. I just think that, look, it looks like coffee or something. It's worth it. It's worth it for just the look. But so anyway, they're considered a luxury crochet hook. They're a little bit pricey, but it's known to relieve tension in your hand, your wrist, and it's smooth and easy to hold. So I sound like an infomercial, but I wanted to just bring this to your attention because I did invest in them. And if you're interested in them, you should maybe look into it as well. Okay. And then another thing that I purchased was this light up hook. So if you're crocheting, ooh, you see the light. If you're crocheting in the dark, I guess, or if you're on a road trip or something, I thought this was cool to purchase. I never purchased anything like this before. I've been very cautious about just getting too much stuff. But let me tell you how I did it. Joann's fabric, I don't know if you guys have one of those in your area, but they always have usually a 60% off coupon. But they trick you. The way they get you is they put almost everything on sale. And the 60% off coupon typically only goes on things that are not on sale. So I just so happened to be in a store, go figure, and their hooks were not on sale. They just had a big sale. All of their Bernat yarn was on sale. A lot of their yarn was on sale. So they just took that sale down and they took their hooks off sale as well. So where this is typically 25% off, I was able to get it for 60% off. So it was worth it. It was worth me giving it a try. This is, like I said, it's just a light up hook. It does take batteries. I have no idea where to get the batteries. Once I use this for a while and I have to go that route, I will, I'm sure, update you on where to get batteries. But this is a nice one. This is a little 5.5. And typically, this is the standard size I would use if I'm going somewhere and I'm crocheting something on the go. So I know they catch you. And this time, honestly, when I went to Joann's, my husband was like, do you want me to come with you? And I was like, oh, no, don't come. It's cool. I'll just run in there. And so I really wish I would have brought him with me because he could have used his 60 and I could have used mine. I could have got a couple of these, but I don't know. After spending the money on these, I just couldn't see myself spending more money on this. So it came in handy to have a coupon for this one. So those are the two hooks I wanted to show you. The two types of hooks, because the last video we discussed the necessary, unnecessary necessaries, and I spoke briefly about hooks, but I wanted to go in more detail about the furl hooks once I received them. And yes, so I've only worked a small part of a project with them. Once I do a full project, then I'll give a full review on how I feel about it and if it's worth the investment, you know? You take your hubby too. Yeah, I know he's got to take one for the team. He's got to come with me and help me get these coupons to save money. Okay, so what's in my bag? That's what I want to talk to you guys about. What's in my bag? Okay, so I have two crochet bags that I typically go with me. So I have my purse, which typically I like to use like a backpack purse. That's my jam because I can put everything in it. And I have two small kids, or they're not small anymore, but they're active. I have two active kids that tend to like sports and things like that. So I've gotten really used to taking a backpack with me. But oh, if it's discontinued, is that what you're asking me? What do I do if the yarn is discontinued? Is that what you're saying? Or like on sale? If it's discontinued, I'll make one skein projects with it. Like if it's like one skein of yarn, I'll find something to make like a one skein project with it. If that's what you're asking me. But I typically have two bags. So this is one bag that I carry around with me. Like, so for instance, say I'm going to one of my kids' practices, right? So I'm one of two type of moms. Sometimes I'll go and I'm chatty and I'm talking with all the other parents. And then sometimes I just want to go sit in a corner and enjoy the hour of just nothingness, right? So it just depends on what mind frame I'm in that day. So if I'm in just my regular chatty mode, right? I know I'm going to go and I'm probably going to socialize. I'll just grab this bag. So inside this bag, now this bag here is a bag that I created on my channel. It is a drawstring. Let's stick this up here so I kind of have my own little table. So it's a drawstring bag that pulls all the way out. So it goes really flat, right? This one's fun to make. This was one of my maybe third cardigans that I created. She was just telling me she liked the cardigan behind me. That one's fun. That one was made with Red Heart yarn, which I typically don't do full projects with Red Heart Super Safe yarn because it's a little bit scratchy, but I wanted to make sure I could see all of the details and the stitching, and so I went with red heart. But so this bag here, I have all of my crochet goodies with, and I just carry it along with me. So if you can kind of see, I'll show you how I do. And when I'm sitting at a game or if I'm sitting at practice, I literally work right out of this bag. You know what I mean? So my yarn is not rolling around. I just kind of my own little makeshift. So this bag, when I created this bag, it was inspired by, have you ever seen those like lazy makeup bags? They used to sell them a long time ago. I don't know if they still do or not, but they're like a nylon bag. I saw one of those, I got inspired, and so I created my own version. So this bag really is like a makeup bag, right? But I use it for crocheting as well. You can never have too. That's a struggle. Like I'm trying my hardest never to have, like, I literally go into the store and I'm focused, but I always circle around to the hooks and I always pick one up, which is part of my problem. I'm trying my hardest to be better at buying random things. So in my bag, I typically have 2 crochet hooks. For whatever reason, I think I may lose one. I always have cotton yarn, always. So I'm typically gonna make a dishcloth of some sort. If I'm mindlessly sitting around and not really, having, like, how you're talking to somebody, but you don't really need to focus, but you can still have a conversation, that's this. So I will literally just make double crochet stitches, half double crochet stitches, just to create a dishcloth, right? If I'm learning a new stitch, sometimes I will just practice that. The end result of me practicing my new stitch is I have a dishcloth at the end of it. So these typically are made up of different types of stitch. There's no rhyme or reason to them. They all are about the same size when I make my dishcloths. So, and they're white. And so since they're usually white, I usually keep white ones because I like to bleach when I'm cleaning. So in this particular bag, I always will have something like this, always. I don't know, what do you guys carry in your bags? Like, do you have a standalone bag, or do you just kind of, what do you guys do when you're crocheting on the go? So I'll have my hooks, I'll have my yarn, and then I have my little tin can. Looks like a pill case, but it's not pills. I just keep stitch markers in here. I keep pins in here. Like the little darning needles, I keep that in there. That's always usually in this bag. I also always have a snack. That's just me. I'm always forever going to be snacking on something. If I'm not snacking on something healthy, I'll be chewing some bubble gum or I'll have some candy. So that's always in this bag. Another thing that's always in this bag is a notepad and a pen. And sometimes I'll have Post-it notes. So whatever, like if I can't find this for some A or B reason, there'll always be something for me to write on. And that is because sometimes if I'm like, you remember I told you earlier, I'll go to the practices and sometimes I'm chatty and then sometimes I kind of sit off to the side. If I'm sitting off to the side, I'll grab this bag along with some yarn or a project that I'm finishing. So if it's fresh yarn, I'm late. I'm on a quick break from 11:30. Thank you. If I'm working a new project, it has to go hand in hand, because typically when I'm making a project, I'm making it for my subscribers, for my my viewers. So, like for instance, I made this beret. I had to write everything down because I want to be able to show you guys how to do it. That's part of what I like to do. So, notepad and pen is essential to making sure that I do not forget, period. I mean, in the moment, I'm always like, I'll remember. It's just a simple whatever, but I have to have this. Another thing that I have to have is my AirPods or some type of earbuds. And I have to have my Kindle. And we've discussed this in my last video of my unnecessary necessaries. This is just me. If I am off in the cut by myself, sitting underneath a nice shade tree, I'm going to be listening to a book while I'm crocheting. That's pretty much where you'll find me, in some chair or copping a squat on the ground with a blanket. And I'm just going to be doing that. And then I'll look up every now and then. I'll say, "Go, baby, you did good." mommy supports you. And then I get right back to doing what I'm doing. So that's the typical of in my bag. And then I'll keep a little, a tape measure. Like that's important because if I'm making, say I'm making gloves or something, I want to see, I'll write down how many, stitches I used. And then I will also write down how long it is. That way I can kind of help give you guys gauge when you're creating your projects. You see what I'm saying? So I always have that. And then the last thing, I always have some hand lotion. It's nothing like trying to crochet with dry hands. So that's typically what I have in my crochet bag. Now, mind you, I carry my book bag purse, so I have other knick-knackish type of things. I also have a pair of scissors that I think I put in another bag. They're just the little travel scissors that I keep in here as well. I know, that's me too. I used to pick up bags everywhere. Everywhere I found a bag, I pick up a bag. Pick a bag like yours, and all those things. That's hook, scissors, yarn, needles. Exactly. You have to keep everything together. Will you be getting larger size V-neck t-shirts? What do you mean by V-neck t-shirts? That's Walmart is my when I go into Walmart, I don't even know how to act. I typically have stopped going into Walmart. Well, because COVID, but I don't know how to not go to places that is going to make me spend more money. Whether it's the nail polish aisle, whether it's the yarn. Now the yarn section is always an issue for me. But what I'm finding is Walmart never has coupons. You know what I mean? So if it's not on the clearance area or something like that, then I try to stay away from the yarn section, just beyond the clearance. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really, for Teespring, I have to look. I need to go look at that. I'll look, okay, on the Teespring. So yeah, that's what's in this bag, and I'll just grab it and then we'll go. And so this bag serves me purpose for when we're doing little travel games, such situations, and or like little quick road trips. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just gonna go up the road to go visit somebody, I'll grab this bag and we'll be off, because I feel like it has everything I need to just make sure that I stay sane if I'm just sitting around. Because typically if I'm just sitting around, my mind is going and I need to be doing something. So this is what I use, and it served me very, very well. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting so caught up in reading some of the comments. Hooks and notions, but I make and sell project bags in Etsy shop. Oh, you do? I need to check out your Etsy shop. Hi, Yarn Nut Yarn. What is it? Yarn Nut Yarn and Crochet. That's a cute name. Everyone has these super cute channel names, and I really wish. I went with branding and didn't go with a cute name. Will you get big t-shirts? Yeah. Okay. And now that is my typical. Let's get on the road, go. Now, if I'm going to go on like a trip somewhere, right? Say I'm going on a road trip for a couple of days. One or two things happens. I consistently think I'm going to do every project I ever thought to do while I'm on a road trip. I do not know why I do this. Like literally, I will take 3 or 4 projects with me with intention, like I'm going to do all the projects. And that never, ever happens. Like never. So I undoubtedly always bring way too many projects, but my best friend, she purchased this for me. One of my best friends. Look at this. She purchased this for me a year or so ago. this was gifted. And this is, look how big this is. It's so cute. This is like a perfect little, it's almost like it's a knit bag. Thank you. It's a knitting bag, but it's perfect for crocheting. I say it's a knitting bag because if you look here to the top, it's got little holes where you can kind of work your projects right out of the bag, which I like. I don't use it for that, but I like the option for that. You know what I mean? This is more like what I do when I'm going on a trip. So we have graduated from this little one to this gigantic one. It does have a magical pull, but you know what? I'm also pulled to the garden center. So I don't know what's worse, like growing plants or crocheting in the springtime, guys. Not the summer, but the spring, February, March, that time frame. I am like drawn to the garden center, and I like consistently buy new houseplants until 2 years ago. I used to even buy flowers. This guy was in the store and he was like, why are you buying flowers when you could be buying fruits and vegetables? He said, every what do you say? Every plant that gives you food will give you a flower. And so ever since then, I do herbs now. I do tomatoes. I do cucumber. I do it like an actual little garden. But yarn draws me, and then plants draw me, which is the craziest thing. I have an old soul, I guess. I know. I feel like YouTube has allowed me to find like my people. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea. Like when I create tutorials and things, I really am tunnel vision about it. I don't want to become like a mimicker of someone else's pattern. So I really try to stay focused on what I'm doing. And so I didn't branch out into the crochet community on YouTube until just recently. And I have come across some really creative people, some really nice, fun lives, interactive lives. And so it's been really cool. Well, Latoya, go ahead on and subscribe. I have plenty of beginner tutorials that you can lead up to this. You know what I mean? Like this one is not even a difficult one. Like I make all of my tutorials with beginners in mind. So Latoya said that she's new to crocheting. And I was just telling her to stop on over to Ahsel and subscribe so you can kind of learn a few things and see how you like it. So let's get into this bag, right? So this monstrosity, we'll start with the outside. So it's got several pockets, and I'll show you what I keep in them. So I will keep my charger. So mind you, keep in mind, this is if I'm traveling, if I'm going out of town, okay? So I have a charger for my my devices, right? My phone and things. Now at this point we have, the mask situation. So I have my mask, a pair of socks. Now that's random, but I usually do not like to wear socks. I mean, I don't like to wear shoes in people's houses unless they're like one of those, they're like, oh, no, keep your shoes on. Then that's one thing. But typically when I come inside from the outside, I like to have my shoes off. So if I'm wearing like flip-flops or slides, then I carry my own socks because I'll throw the socks on. So, I'm not barefoot in someone else's house. And then I also have in here a tape measure. So I keep a tape measure. This bag is no real rhyme or reason. It's just kind of things are in the pockets. So, but they're typical. So I kind of keep the same things in my pockets. You know what I mean? So the mask, the socks, the tape measure, and then of course my portable charger. Hello, how are you? So that's on this side of this bag. And then you guys know, I've already mentioned before, I love this case. This is my crochet case. And I have all of my hooks and all of my these are just the little pocket areas, the needles, I even have, let's see what's in here. A paper, stuff like that. You saw this one in my last live. And then on this side, I have all of my fun crochet hooks. So this definitely comes along with me because like I said before, I absolutely think I'm going to do every project known to man. So that is that. What is that? Heather, did you? I don't know any of you guys. When I tell you I know nothing about this chat environment, I think I got a donation. If I did, thank you so much. I don't even know how to check that. Thank you so much. Okay, so then this is the crochet pouch area here where I keep my crochet hooks. And then over here, I keep I have to, okay, so having chapped lips or dry hands, I don't know why that distracts me so much when I'm crocheting, but it feels like if my hands aren't lotion and my mouth feels dry, it's a no-go. So I have my Carmex and I have my lotion. So anytime I go out to like my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they used to travel a lot. So they would always bring us back little lotions. I keep these. They're everywhere. They're not just in this bag. They're in every bag I own. So lotion and Carmex, a bigger hook. This bag here only holds up to a size 12 millimeter. This I believe is a 15 millimeter. So I'll stiff that in there too, just because, you know, I'm going to make a chunky blanket while traveling because that's just what I think I'm going to do, which I don't do. So I have a large hook in there. I also have pencil and pen typically, and then I always have a nail file. Nail file because anytime you're working with yarn, you just don't want that aggravation of your nail snagging. So that is in my purse, so that's why it's not in my little bag, but I always have some type of nail file or, you know, nail clippers, you know? I'm going to check out your shop. Is it just underneath your name, Oak Knob Makes? Monique, is that what it is? Heather, I appreciate it. I've seen these little, the big boxes that pop up when people, I'm not sure how all of it works or even where it goes. You know, I mean, I know it comes to me, but I don't know. But anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I really do, Heather. Thank you. But yeah, Monique, let me know what your shop is. Yeah, the nail file. And then, you know, the Dollar Tree always has, that's another place that always sinks me. I don't even need half the stuff in the Dollar Tree, but and it seems like they always get new stuff. Like our Dollar Tree has yarn and stuff now, and I keep saying I'm gonna just go stock up on it just to see. You know, I'm sure it's not a lot. It's probably like sample size yarn, but you know, hey. Okay, so then that's the outside of my bag. This actually comes with a little pouch too. Like I need more pouches. But this comes with a cute pouch. And like I said, I think this is for knitters because, you know, it's got a lot of little areas on here that aren't really big enough for anything much, but maybe knitting needles, you know? I've tried knitting. Have you guys tried knitting before? I tried knitting before. I think I want to learn how to knit. Like I know how to do like, I think a garter stitch is what they call it. It's like a beginner stitch. But for some reason, it's like with knitting, I have to stay engaged with the project. Where like with crocheting, I can stop it, write down, you know, the beginning part of my pattern, leave it for months, come back to it, and I know exactly what I'm doing. But with knitting, I felt like, what was I purling? I don't know. I feel like I just have, but I love the finished product of knit. I love the finished knit products. Yeah, see, I'm like, it was kind of hard. Yeah. The end result of knit, like when I see people's knitted projects, I'm just like in awe. Like that looks so pretty, you know? And even the yarn that kind of goes along with knitting is super pretty, but I just don't think I'm committed enough to all the counting. Because even like guys, when I made this hat, I typically don't work with 4-weight yarn when I'm doing projects like this. You're making a hat? What type of hat are you making? When I made this hat, it's a lot of counting. So I wouldn't necessarily want to put this. I'm going to put the tutorial out. I'm definitely putting the tutorial out. I'm almost done editing the video, but it's just a lot of counting, and that gets frustrating when you're brand new to crocheting, A beanie, yeah. This is the time. My daughter wears her hair in twists, big twists, and she wants a hat. So I'm going to have to customize her one just because, the one size fit all, or one size fit most doesn't really fit if you have big twist or something like that. Yeah, so this bag, what I've been using is, hello, Pam, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's neat. You're 10? Oh, wow. I wish my daughter would crochet. Um, so in this one, anytime I have my little labels for my yarn, I stick them usually in here. This is a pretty much empty stitch marker container because I have them spread all over the place, but I usually have my stitch markers in here. I do have a gigantic pair of scissors that I have in here. And then what fell is my nail clippers. So this is kind of like odds and ends. I would have gum in here, some type of snack. Because like I said before, granola bars, I would have that in here. But this is cute, and this is detachable, so you don't have to have it hanging like this. You can absolutely stick it in the bag, but I just kind of leave, it off to the side. And then, okay, so now let's get to the good stuff. What's in this bag? First, it's got the 2 zippers, which is nice. Oh, over here on this side of this bag, which I didn't say, there's a pattern in here. I just stuck it in here. I don't really do anything much with patterns. I have a little pad that I like to, hi Consuelo, how are you? I like to, hey Linda, I don't know if I said hi. Hey Linda. I have a little notepad in here. And then I also, look, I'm not playing when I tell you I love my Kindle. I have 2 Kindles. This one, I stepped on it and it cracked, so I got a new one, but it still works, right? So this one goes in this bag, just so I love to be in my world of reading. So my Kindle's in there. And then, okay, so let's get into the goodies. What type of tips do you need? My tip for you, if you're 10 years old and you're crocheting, is to just keep going. You're only going to get greater. You know what I mean? If you're starting at this age, just keep creating, and don't put yourself in a box. Make any and everything that you want to make. And then, crocheting is so vast. You can make little, what do you call them? Origami, the little, not creatures, but they're like little animals. You can make dolls, you can make baby clothes, blankets, garments. There is so many things you can create. So just keep going and see where you find your niche, You knit too, Gloria? What do you like better? Thank you. Thanks, Consuela. What do you like better, Gloria, knitting or crocheting? Make notes, yeah. Definitely. Okay, so in the bag, it's like every project I think I'm going to complete. So I started one sock. I haven't finished it, so that's in here. I'm just gonna stuff it on the floor because I know I'm gonna put it all up. I'm in the process of making, you guys. I made fingerless gloves. I just published that video not too long ago, but these are more like mittens. So they're like a fingerless glove with a cap, which will be going. I hope to have this video out this week, if not this week, next week. But it looks like this. Looks like a muffin, like a muppet. But anyway, it's got the little detachable hat. So I'm in the process of making that. That's in here. And then, of course, my blanket that I've been working on for a while now. That's stuffed down in here as well. So hopefully this will be done soon. And then I always have some type of water because I always have a snack. So got to have water. And then also in here is my iPad. And then also this is like, now when I make patterns, when I create patterns, they all go in books like this. So I have like a ton. I'm not even playing. I keep all of my patterns, and this one's raggedy because I've been keeping patterns for so long. But I literally will just put my pattern in here. And the way I typically do this is I start with like, I'll give you a peek into my madness. I start with, I'll leave 2 or 3 pages blank in the beginning of this. You definitely cannot see this, but I have like a table of contents. So I'll start with the table of content, and then I will work my project, label it, and then this is this is nutty. But so I do keep one of these in here. So if I'm actually getting the pattern down, I'll write them in here. Getting a mannequin like that. Yeah, I actually got this. You know what? Pam, who's on here, well, she was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on here. Pamela Crochet Knit Corner. She has a lot of these little guys, and she named them. And what was so funny was I named mine Quinn, and then I went on one of her lives, and she was talking about her little mannequins, and they all had names. I was like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one that did that. So anyway, this is Quinn, and I got it off Amazon. I got it as a birthday gift off Amazon. So this one's perfect, but this one's white, but they have like a Paris theme one, which would have worked perfectly. They have a black one. I think they have a red one, and they're not terribly, not this one. This one's not terribly expensive. I want to say maybe, oh man, don't quote me on the price. What I could do is I can link it down below. You can check out the different kind, maybe $40, $50. I don't remember. And this is a size small. So if you're crocheting to size, this is like a 4 to 6 body form. This can be helpful for that as well. Yes, Pam, that's what I'm saying. When I saw yours had names, I was like, that is so cute. Because I started calling it Quinn because, mannequin. But when I saw yours, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm not alone. Yeah, so that's where I got that from. And then another thing, do you guys do this? This is like a little brochure that I get in the mail. This is how I typically get my inspiration. So if I'm trying to figure out if I want to make something, or I'm looking through these. I don't look through these so much for the fashion because at this stage I don't go anywhere and I don't really buy a lot of clothes. I really want to drop some pounds, but I'll look through these type of magazines and I'll get inspired, whether it's from the actual garment itself or the colors. So it kind of gives me an idea of the colors of the season. Oh, that's cool. That is a good idea. So I do get a lot of, I get these little magazines like this in the mail. And then what I'll do is after I thumb through them, because mind you, I'm traveling. This is travel bag. I'll look through these, get inspiration. And, oh, you're starting your own shop. You're very ambitious. Hi, Aisha. How are you? What I do is I will pull out what I like. Let's see, like this. And I say, and this is my little calendar. I keep a calendar of all the things that I'm going to be doing. But I'll just pull out, something that would give me inspiration. And then I will kind of keep that in mind. You know what I mean? I love this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me put my bag down, guys. Sit there. I don't know if you can see it, but see this little purse, guys? So cute this purse is. I think it's super cute. And so in my mind, when I see something like that, I'm like, how can I crochet it? You know what I mean? That's usually the first place I go, especially now that I'm really, really, I didn't always consider myself to be a creative person, but I guess I kind of am. So the first thing my mind usually goes to is, how can I create it? How can I recreate it? So I think this would be a super cute crochet bag, right? Like with the fringes and the little belt. And this is all what's, that's fashion right now. That's what's in. This is what's in the magazine. So when I come across something like that, I typically will tear it out um and put it away for me maybe to do it. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like this. Look how cute that is. Can you guys see the back of that? It's got little, looks like bows. Wouldn't that be the cutest sweater to create a sweater that connects like that with bows? That might take a lot of work, but anyway, that's kind of how I get inspired. How do you guys get inspired to do? This is off subject completely. We're not that. I guess this is kind of on subject because it's in my bag. But how do you guys get like inspired to create stuff? Thank you. I like them equal, but crochet is faster than I think it's warmer. Wait, what did I miss? Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to like knitting and sewing. I want to know how to sew a quilt. I really, really want to make a quilt. So those are my two like on my list of things to do. Besides, there's like losing weight, which is always up there, but then it's like sewing, and then it's like knitting. It's on the list. You do this too? Yeah, I know. Look, look at this. Oh my, I'm not gonna make this, but I don't know if can you see the color? It's like salmon, white, and gray. Like I know I've seen that before, but when I see it put together, it makes me want to make something in those colors. You know what I mean? So I do that too with colors as well. Quilting is rewarding. Is it? Look at TikTok. I just started TikTok. It's supposed to be going away. I don't know. I did do TikTok though. Quilting is. I felt like when I was trying to. I think once I learned like seam allowances and how to cut everything, I think it's going to be rewarding for me too. That's what I was saying, Pam, too. I love the way the finished product of knitting looks. Like I love that, but it's just I don't have something isn't connecting with me when it comes to I don't know. I don't know. I told y'all before, I don't know if you guys know, I made one glove. I went to a knitting course. The lady showed us how to make one glove. I did it. It looked great. It was so cool. When I went home to try to create it, I have one glove. Like, and it's still like a laughing joke in this house when someone comes across the one knitted glove. It's just that everyone laughs at me because I tried though. I really tried. Oh, you're following me on TikTok? You guys, I just started a TikTok channel like maybe 4 or 5 days ago because I have found that I have a love for music. Off subject, and I'm gonna end soon, but I have a love for music. I love music. I think almost every part of your life can be put to some type of soundtrack and it could play. And so TikTok is kind of like that, where you can kind of put music and your craft to like this in the same space. So my daughter and my little boy, he likes TikTok too. Like he's younger, so he's just now. I'm just now allowing him to be on social media, but they have kind of got me into all the TikTokish type of things. So it's been really fun. Like I get so excited when I get like one view. Like like the other day, I think I put a video out and it got like 4 views, and I was jumping around, and my daughter was like, "Mom, 4 views!" Like she was trying to really humble me because I was like excited that I got my little 4 views. So. Beginning, but once you get the cutting and the seam allowance down the road as needed. That's what I'm waiting for. Linda, listen, I'm waiting for that moment where I'm just like, oh, and it all comes together. So that's like really, really cool. So is there anything you guys want me to make? Or I have a request. Someone asked for a sweater dress. I do want to make that. That's just going to take time because, I've got to use a smaller crochet hook, and I am not a fast crocheter. So I have to be mindful of my abilities. I love crocheting, but I am like one of those ooh squirrel type of girls. Like I'll be doing something and then a thousand things will click into my mind and I'll switch gears literally, which is probably why I crochet versus knit, because I have to drop what I'm doing and do something different. But I did have a young lady ask me to make a sweater dress, which I do want to do. I'm working towards that. I have a oops project that I'm changing into something else that's taking a little bit of time. But if you guys have any like quick tutorials that you would like for me to do, just let me know and I'll try to get that pulled together. It's the season, you know what I mean? We're in the middle of fall. It's just nothing. I think fall started today or yesterday. So perfect weather for crocheting. Um, so if there's something that you guys would like me to try to make, just let me know. That goes for even the people that watch me in replay. I do read all the comments, so leave that there, and I'll definitely read your comment. I try to respond right in that moment, and hopefully I can create that for you. Okay, so making what 35 years ago, I haven't stopped my girls laugh because I'm in my swims. Oh, that's so cool. I'm trust me, that's on my list. This was on my list too. Going live was on my list of things to do. So every year I sit down, me and my husband, my best friend, we sit down, we come up with what we want to get accomplished for the year. And this was one of the things on my list. So while it's in the fourth quarter, the last part of the year, I still got it done. And so quilting is definitely on my list of things to do. So I'll be doing it. So, okay, so the next live I'll be doing next Tuesday. I think I'm going to gather up one skein projects and we can discuss that. Like, what are some good one skein and I think what I'll do is I'll break them up into like household thingies and then maybe like garments, one skein garment, something like that. So we can kind of, because someone had mentioned something about discounted yarn or discontinued yarn, and oftentimes when you get discounted yarn, it could be discontinued or it could only be one or two skeins left. So it would be a great idea to like come up with what can we do with these, little, and there's so many things you guys can create with little bits of yarn. You know what I mean? You don't need like almost depending on how many yards, like for instance, this was this beret, which is a large size beret. Look how much yarn. And this was the, what yarn was this, guys? This was the Big Twist yarn from Joann's. It's 320 yards in this skein. And look how much is left. So I could probably make fingerless gloves with this to match the hat. You know what I mean? So, that'd be fun to do, right? So, okay, guys, I've been chatting for almost an hour. When I told you when I first started, it was going to literally be 20 minutes and my mouth just, I guess if you like something, you talk about it. So find me on here, Ahsel, YouTube, Ahsel, Instagram, Ahsel_crochets, Twitter at Ahsel, TikTok at Ahsel, and my website is also ahsel.com. So typically on my website, I try to put my patterns that are free there, as well as I sell them on Etsy. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys for just the support. And if you're catching me on the replay, I really do appreciate you watching. And then give me feedback too, because I'll address your feedback. I'll try to address it at the beginning of my next live. And I think I covered every single thing I wanted to cover. And I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye. It said.